Hello and welcome. Having a few technical difficulties there. Let's see here. So I had to cut it short yesterday. My fiance had a very high temperature, and I had to go take care of her there. So I got cut short yesterday. I did keep working off and on, kind of on my own time. It just wasn't something that I could sit down and work through. So I'll be going over all that some of the stuff I did. I'm getting close. I'm writing up kind of design docs right now for the different elements and stuff. Kind of working into that the themes and stuff that they should be working with, what they can accomplish and such. Oh, there was other things I wanted to address here, but I can't remember. I might think of them as I go on. Let's see here. Pop that back up. I'm still trying to get everything. Everything's kind of clustered. It's not terribly hard to keep track of everything that I need to keep track of while I'm streaming, but it's a work in progress, just like the game is. And I'm doing this for fun, so no big loss if it's not perfect. Okay, so anyway, let's see here. Pop that up, I think, and I need to switch to this. There we go. That back up, just in case I get a chatter, which there's been nobody around, but that's all right. Just kind of working on my own, saving this for posterity. Let's minimize that and minimize that as well. There. So I'm just trying to rearrange. I had a big snafu technical difficulty yesterday where the notepad stayed on top. The notepad has basically all of my design documents on it. So it has the rules. This can probably be closed now. I'm not using that. That's from something else. That was from a different project that I was working on, world building and stuff. But this has all my design documents on it. I closed the design documents on the cards themselves. Though I will need to update the monster card design because I am changing things. I am going to be splitting the special defense and special special attack, so it's magic proficiency and willpower. I got physical strength and fortitude for defense, and that just prevents just pure defensive monsters from changing. So what I'm probably gonna do with this deck, so it's gonna be physical defense. So I don't think they need to necessarily have the super type unless it's in there, or the alignment, because I have these set up as alignments, but I don't think I'm going to keep them as alignments. I think they're just going to be typing. I haven't found a good name for that yet. I probably could do some Googling and figuring it out, but I'll go over kind of the design sheets that I've made for the higher level monster typings, which is dark, knowledge, and light. So quick one line: dark messes with enemy plans and causes status effects and such, increasing potency of own plans. What dark represents evils such as greed, power seeking, and control. Undead, specters, demons, and devils are the most common types of monsters represented in this alignment, though many other monsters can be tempted by the evils of the world. This alignment likes to deal magic style damage and is damage focused. That's not a hard and fast rule. Trades higher damage for less life generally. I'm not stuck on that, but it's a pretty good rule. Glass cannon kind of things along with status effects and whatnot. Types of abilities that are represented by this particular thing. Game effects: remove card from run. Fear forces monsters to the back row, or player discards a card, which can really mess with people's plans, especially if they're planning on casting or using a higher level ability. It can cause fizzles and stuff like that. That might be a rather annoying one. It has to be play tested. It's the rule of fun and the rule of cool as far as games go. Status effects: poison, which is just a big one, and this one I thought interesting. Goad, force a player to play a certain card. I don't know, maybe they reveal so many cards and you force them to play that card. I don't really know how that would work, but it was just an idea that I had there, and it's not like the decks I'm going to be making right out the gate are going to have those. This is just a design trying to give an idea of what this element or color or typing can do. And then increase damage to a certain target. I'm going to call that weaken, actually. So instead of increasing a certain monster's ability, it weakens the enemy. Right, so that's kind of the theme of what dark creatures do. The knowledge alignment. Knowledge gains information through revealing hidden information and changing one's own plans. What knowledge represents the pursuit and sometimes obsession of knowing the fundamental truths of the universe. Elder beings and golems are the most common monster types within this alignment. Psychic attribute is common as well. This alignment prefers to use support magic both offensively and defensively, as well as strategic abilities. So this is less offensive, and it basically is more tied into changing strategy as it goes. Probably a longer type of more tempo based strategies like follow knowledge in the knowledge line. Strategic abilities: reveal a card on a run, reveal player hand. The note here is not super effective in a game that rewards swapping hands quickly, because again, in this game you're discarding cards and then you're drawing back up to 7, so you always have 7. You're rewarded for playing the highest power things in the deck. There is some risk to that in the game as well, because playing the max value cards in a game, you're trading off player abilities and you're trading off other things. So yeah, so revealing the player hand is not necessarily going to be super effective, and the game is going to have some things. Like, I was thinking, well, why don't we just put abilities directly on monsters, and you can use multiple abilities per turn, and like you stack, because it's all speed based and it's simultaneous play. So there could be that too, but then you run into another thing. So first things first is to get the cards, and then to try a few different things with the play. Status effects: confuse. Targets from confused monster are chosen at random, and silence. Target cannot use support abilities. So those are the two status effects that are primarily knowledge based on that. Oh, I forgot to start the timer. Is 12. 40, so that's 10 minutes in. Let's set this to... Oh, not an hour. There we go. That should be pretty close, because on the half hour is when I take a break. Okay. And then I got pretty tired when I got through light alignment, so this one isn't as good. Not as fleshed out. I still have 4 more design sheets to write up here. Hopefully I can get them done here. It honestly kind of eats through the brain on that thing. I'll probably not have specific monsters and stuff that are done by those. Light monsters. Light. Healing protection moving forward on one's own planet. What light represents? Light represents order, structure, and healing. Angels, sprites, and fairies. Possibly fairies, because there's some evil fairies and stuff too. So I don't know if that ties in. I was having trouble thinking of light-based things that don't just fully rely on religious iconography, you know, because well, yes, I'm trying to bring that in a little bit. I'm not trying to shoehorn light into just religious stuff. I unmuted my mic, right? Yeah. So many windows open. It's hard to keep track of everything. Okay. Healer attributes is super common with this alignment. So because they're you know, healers. Prefers strict physical strength over magic. Magic over magical strength. Strategic abilities. This I'm not sure. See, I was kind of floundering on what sort of strategic abilities could fall under the light based that isn't like, oh, excuse me, isn't like super overpowered, because well, you got healing for one. That is a pretty good, you know, instant healing. That could be strategic. So this allow another ability to be used, so multiple on one turn. I really don't. I really think that's overpowered. Then you have healing, status effects, regain and bolster, increase physical defense or whatnot. So they'll just have. So the status effects are more of a. Not really status effects. Regen is a status effect. Suppose I should put antidote up in the strategic ability, because it's not really a effect, but it cures. Would that be a panacea? See, I could break that up instead of just having one, like, this heals poison, this heals confusion, and then just have a panacea. Is that what I think it is? Let's Google that real quick. Ah, yeah, that is right. I'm gonna put that in there so I don't forget it, actually. Yeah, things like that. So this is healing, preventing status effects. Its attackers would be strength based. Uh, oh no, I hope I'm not getting the sickness that's going around. I don't want to be sick. Alright. So there's that. I finished the typing sheet. I'm not really sure where I left off. I left in a hurry yesterday, and then, like I said, I kept working a bit, so it was kind of one of those things where I lost track of where I was. I know that with my technical difficulty yesterday, I redid all of these cards, and they're gonna get another redo before I get to the final layout. Because yeah, no, there's two different ways I think I can go with this, but I'm not sure yet. All right. Okay, so where am I going now? What I am doing now is I am going to make a fire alignment design sheet. Will Poser. I might change that up, because I think having water be a defensive... Yeah, I think having water be defensive is the way to go. I'm just looking at the wheel as well and seeing that might not work, but I'm going to leave it for now. And I don't like the word magic, so I might change that eventually, because magic's going to include just everything from, well, magic to psychic abilities. But I obviously don't want to directly copy, you know, Pokemon and go like, oh, it's specialty, which, judging by that, it is hard to come up with a term for for the other. Okay. Let's put that over here. Oh. Just so I have the layout the way I'm doing it, keep all my formatting the same. I'm gonna leave the monsters off this one. Because it's at this point it's an idea board. I'm hoping to flesh these out over time as to what they, as I get everything coalesced into the one big thing, what everything represents. Oh, excuse me. I haven't really thought about, well, I've thought about wind. I think about wind a lot. That swapping cards and stuff like that. And I think there can be some overlap between, because I was thinking, okay, so so one each is all right. I don't know if you know what? I think I need to get my brain working on something else. So what I'm gonna switch to now is I'm gonna start. So I have. Where is it? Abstract monster is not gonna stay. So I am going to go in here and I'm gonna start. Um. Oh. Okay, so 200's not gonna be quite enough to flesh out a creature. Put its speed at 10, so you gotta at minimum put 10. How much is that? So that's 8 points. It's 2 points, so 8, 10, 20, 250 points there. So let's just go 300 points. So I got 150. I got 50 more points to spend on this creature. I'm gonna rack this up to 2 more in this. I want to say 80. 100 is going to be really high for a level 1 or a stage 1 monster. Because I have to do... What's my damage formula? I have to do more than 80 damage to do any damage. But I also get the typing bonus. So with Earth, if there's fire? Yeah, if there's fire on Earth, then it takes extra damage. Oh, what was I at? 8, 20... 6, 7. I got 3 more points. So I have no baseline on what's good here, but I need to add another column. Those are just names, placeholder names. They might actually stick. I don't know. So this is based on the monsters I had thought of for that first deck. I got and these are all stage 1, so they're cute little monsters. I haven't thought of water and dark would be better. But I think I'm gonna start that one off as a pure water. Alright, so this deck only has one defender. The octopus should be... Alright, so I gotta put 10 in each. That's the minimum. Alright. So if I have 300 points to spend, 150 is going to be middle of the road. So if I went, well, actually no, 150 wouldn't be. 100 should be about average because you got the other stats to worry about. So if I went 100 there, that leaves me with 50 points to put other places. That makes this guy squishy as squishy can be. That's probably right on the middle of the road that you can go on. And it's probably gonna get stomped. Because what do we got here? We got 30, we got 230 plus 50, 280. That leaves us 20 points left to spend. So I'm gonna drop that down actually. Go 80. So I dropped 3, so we got 50 points left to spend. I'm gonna put a little bit into willpower and fortitude. Doesn't need any physical strength, so willpower. Since it leans magic, I'm gonna make that 40. This 30? Let me check my math there, make sure I got it all right. Alright, I'm 1 point over. Oh, 30 and 40's good, though. So I'm gonna make this 90. What would an average be? It would be, let's see, 50, 50. So that's, so 100 is 50. So 50, 50, 50 would be 300. So if all stats, an average, middle of the road monster would look like that, right? So, because you get 2 points of health per point spent. So you get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. So average is 50. 50 should be kind of the center ground, but just because you can push so far, you can warp it. But I should try not to just completely maximize it. And you get more points, or the evolutions get more points per level. Push them. Oh! Oh, da! Alright. Alright, so I took 2, 3, 4 points. So I gotta take, let me see if that works out. One short, so I can make this. I actually want to keep that 20, 40. And there's only so many variations I can make. There's quite a few variations I can make on these stats like this. Ooh. Ooh. Excuse me. Having trouble waking up today. just gonna drop this down to 10 right there. That leaves me 4. That's 2 extra points. Well, I'm just gonna put 1 extra point there. That's 1. Or 6. 7. 18. 24. So I'm short 1 point. $600 speed. There we go. Okay. Whoa, what is that? So, turtle that I'm basing this off of is the world turtle, which a lot of folklore and stuff borrows from. Oh, Excuse me. Alright. I'll have to come up with a name for it. So the first names are easy, because they're cutesy little, or supposed to be cutesy little things, and then they turn into giant world-crushing monsters. So I'm gonna have to think of a way to name those guys. For right now, I'm just trying to get them on paper, because yeah, the octopus I want to turn into. I'm gonna get rid of knowledge on this one, actually. And okay, so I need yeah, that's just, I don't know, haunted book. Alright. Oh, can I move the row up? Insert row. It's been a while since I've used this. Optimal height, free split window format cells. a vertically aligned bottom. There has to be a way to nudge it all up. I suppose that gets to be a little bit of a... Oh. Oh, just quick Google will fix that instead of sitting and banging my head against the wall. All right. Cool. All right. There. So, kind of the idea, I kind of got the monster idea out there. I'm gonna have to come up with a better naming mechanism, though. These are all placeholder names. Kind of have an idea. I have drawn monsters and stuff that'll fit some of these here. Some of them will have to be, but I'm not to the drawing part yet. I'm trying to get play testing together. But this is Earth, Knowledge, Dark, Water, and Air. That means the other one is gonna be like light, dark. So light and dark, and then fire. Oh, fire and air. So these should actually be not air. Let's see. Keep it pure knowledge, maybe. Just arbitrary values. I don't know what's good. I don't know what's bad, but I gotta get something together to test. So they're just all arbitrary. It's gonna be unbalanced as all get out, but that's what testing is for. You have to have something to test it. I am gonna have to have an attribute. So, like paper or something. I don't know. Because I can't just have any knowledge thing turning into a book. I don't like that idea. Their book is not something that's gonna stay. It's just there for now. I need to find something like, because yeah, if this ever gets a third evolution, I want other things to be able to turn into it. So book isn't it. I'll probably think of more things. The bigger the monster they are, the bigger or the more attributes they have to them. Use different abilities. All right, that's our first break, or we have successfully made it to the first break at 1/2 past the hour. I am gonna get up, go use the restroom for the next 15 minutes, and I will be back at 45 past the hour. I hope you join me for the next section. Okay, welcome back. So, I've been trying to work on getting the monsters set up for the deck. It's just rough. Just trying to get it as much as I can. It's gonna change as I try and throw everything else together. It's probably gonna take me today and tomorrow to completely fill out the deck. And then I got one more deck to build. I won't be streaming over the weekend. I'll be using the weekend to take care of stuff around the home and such. So hopefully Monday or Tuesday I can start actually getting everything set up to play test. But to do that, I'm going to have to set up a tabletop simulator and then set up a place to do it. So it means making a website and all that other stuff that'll have to, or setting up some way to share it. Whether that's a Dropbox or whatnot that people can get at through my social media. So I have to think of how and where I'm gonna be setting stuff up. And who I'm gonna have playtesting. I'd like to playtest with somebody I know first, just to get the feel and just to where I can see what's wrong and what's not. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Kind of have a cool idea for abstractions. Just basically, they can kind of become anything from the baser forms. This one is a knowledge abstraction. I should actually make this. No. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so, and then copy these stats. In general, or in practice, doesn't have to be this way. But each level adds 100 points to the monster. Alright, where was I at here? Alright, so I think I'll be giving 100 points per level up. They start with 300, so 200. I don't know if you want to double it each time because that can get out of hand very fast. So it's like either 100 points or 10 points basically. The extra 0 doesn't mean anything currently. Just makes it really hard to do math. It just makes the numbers look bigger by adding that. So it's basically hit points are double the points you put into them. Everything else is a single, so it's 16, 3, 2, 8, 6, 0. But adding people like bigger numbers, so I'm adding that extra 0 at the end, just to make it a little easier, or make it seem a little bigger. Oh. Alright, so let's go to... So if I put 5 points in, it'd be 260. But I want to go 240. It's up to... Alright, so what am I at now? So 6, 8, 2... So put 4 points there. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 7. And this is really going to be a test of defensive abilities in the game because oh, did I unmute myself? Yes, I did. Okay. This is going to be a big part of the defensive abilities, or a big test of the defensive abilities in the game, because this is above average, but isn't as much as you could dump into it type of defenses. Alright. So that's 100 extra points. I'm going to double check the math there. I got one more point to put in. I'm gonna make this that. Let's see where I'm at there. That puts me right at 50. So I have to get more points for the second evolution than 100. So I need a bigger gap between there because I do want to put his health up to 380. And I do want to just turn those to 40. I know that's 3 points to turn them to 40, but I'm trying to thematically think this creature is supposed to be a pretty big. It's based off the world force, so should be pretty big. Speed can be low. It always goes last. Not 160. 130. I think that's 550 would be good. Let's see where we end up with what I got. So I got oh, no, not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I got one more point to spend. I'm just going to make this clean 400. Alright, yep, so the last stage will be 550. This is pretty legendary as far as distributions go. Whether it stays or whether it's too much is to be determined. Oh, this would have to be 80, wouldn't it? Is that even right? Alright. Oh, this... just thinking about the different life ranges that they should have at the different stages and what it truly means for damage and stuff, and trying to balance it out, because this is incredibly unbalanced right now. So I added 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 to that. 2 to that. I'm going to add 2 more to that. Put it at 160. Then add 2 to this, making it 1. Yeah. Alright. And so with the Kraken, when we get to the Kraken here, I'm gonna just quick get these stats moved down. So we see a high willpower and fortitude there. I'm actually gonna just trying to think thematically. So it's gonna keep its magic proficiency, but I think I'm gonna stack its physical strength on this one too. Alright, let me see where I'm at there. So I got 12. I technically have 1 point left to spend. And I'm gonna put it in health.
points. That leaves me with 6 points. Okay. So oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, that should do. I need to move over to my notes quick. Or actually, back here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, let's see how much that messes with okay, that obviously didn't re-import everything that I needed. And I'm gonna have to update. Oh, I better let you see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm back in here now. So I didn't quite get everything that I needed, or it doesn't auto update. Ah, it's the wrong one, that's why. Alright.
Back here. You know, it really irritates me with that OneDrive shit. Or, you know, OneDrive stuff. That should be better. Well, some of the stuff's still stuck there. Well, that's nice. Kind of laggy. Monster card. Need to make sure these are all linked up right.
Okay, so I get it. If they don't have any, they go back, revert to, not having any. I gotta figure out how to get them to make them blank if there's no information there. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing again. There we go. I'll have to add type 2 text. Oh. So I'm probably gonna cut it here after the next break. Made some forward progress here. The card templates are gonna have to be redone. And I'm gonna have to take a nap. I don't know why, but I'm pretty tired today. Pretty beat. Hope I'm not coming down with that cold. No, not responding. All that information must be hard for this program. Okay. Got it saved under the right format. Next, I think, let's see here. Let's go back to my top turtle deck. So, and the reason I'm working on one deck and not two is because I can start testing the actual playthrough with 2 copies of one deck. That'll make it pretty easy, mirror match, and kind of see how that goes. Okay. Don't have my chat up again. I'm gonna end up missing. Somebody's gonna come in for the very first time, and I'm gonna end up missing them when they come in and say hi. Okay, so the items will be the next thing, getting the items set up. Do I have something? so I do have something for items. I don't need this anymore. Oh, where's my design sheet? So I have set up design sheet. Relics increase defense by 20 for 1 round after taking damage. Increase duration of support skills. That's just a random name. Doesn't mean anything lore-wise. Probably gonna have to change that. Oh, what were the other ideas? Defend other. Swap. They need swap for sure.
Alright, well, that takes care of the items for the first deck. We got the potion, remove 20 damage from target monster, ring of protection, increase defense by 20 for 1 round, flock of daemon, increase the duration of support spells cast by this monster by 1 turn. Could make it 2 turns. That gets hairy. I'm not entirely sure what kind of support is going to be in this deck. I'm gonna have to start breaking down and figuring out kind of what's gonna go into each deck. The items are kind of easy-ish, especially the strategic, the player abilities. So there's that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I apologize for that. Okay, let's see here. Where are we at? So I want to save that. Oh, not quite yet. There we go. Importing it in. 30. Alright, let's see. So I want to see something. Make a... Alright. Alright, let's see if that updates this here. It does not. That's alright. I'll have to see how to refresh the data sheets, because that's kind of important to be able to do things on the fly. That's half the point of using the software. The software is actually a little bit like, I might have to look into see what if I'm doing something wrong with it. Okay. Oh. See, I'm horrible at that. I have maybe have to find a way that automatically minimizes windows when I move off. So I got the player abilities here, but it did not update it to the assign relics at all. So that's not quite working the way it should. But everything there is ready for play testing. I just have to set up a cut border on it. Then I can export it to spreadsheets. I can maybe have to figure out sets so I can set up how many of each there's supposed to be. I would hope that anything that I have or want duplicates of, I don't have to type that in multiple times and then delete rows, because that seems a little heavy-handed, but it might be the way I have to go with it. Yeah, it doesn't really say amount. So I'll have to look into Cocktail a little bit more and see how
how it all works with everything. This seems like there's a lot of information. It causes a lot of lag. Trying to come in. Which any bigger game is going to have a lot of problems with. And it might just be the way I have the monster card set up. Obviously, I have work to do on the monster card. It's missing some information. Some of the information isn't clear at all. So there's that. Put up a... But yeah, I'm pretty knackered today. I think I'm going to call it here in the next 4 minutes. Head out. There's a lot of work. It's a maybe on the stream tomorrow. I think I'm trying to go 5 days, but I might need a non-stream break just to give my brain a little bit of a rest and give myself time to brainstorm and start feeling out the I've used a lot of creative energy getting this far. And there's a lot more to go. I'm just about to play testing though. I keep saying that, but I'm getting one deck put together. I'll be pretty close to playtesting here soon if I can find some people that will playtest with me in real life, just to maybe not necessarily get into it. It's going to be a bad game. I know a lot of people that I've tried playtesting with before don't really understand that it's not a real game until you test and run face first into brick walls a bunch of times before it actually starts getting smooth. So I've always had a hard time finding people to play with, and you can only do so much playing solitaire to balance the game. A lot of people don't understand the game development side of it, where it's not always cut and dry. Oh yeah, this is a finished game. Try it. Oh, that's horrible. Like, I don't want to ever play that game. Well, you know, what do you do to make it better? What was wrong with that? What felt unbalanced to you? What didn't seem right? What felt too strong? What felt too weak? All that other stuff. And that's really hard to pry from people, because generally people want to be nice, and they don't. I don't think a lot of people do a lot of creative projects in the first place, or understand the depth and level needed for that sort of thing. I could be wrong. I could just be misreading people. It's been my #1 difficulty making games, is less about getting the idea, less about getting it down. It's getting people to play the game, to spend some time with you and try and get it down. That is literally the hardest thing to do in game development for me. Because yeah, I'm quick to cut things. I'm quick to whatever and change and on the fly and stuff like that. I guess maybe to some people it comes across as, well, you're changing the rules as we're playing, and it's like, well, yeah, I'm changing the rules as we're playing because I see something is just absolutely not. Anyway, so I'm gonna call it here today. Maybe one of these days, when I get to the art and the design stuff, I'm gonna be able to put more time in it. It's less thought heavy. I can just do design, I can just do art, but that takes a back seat to all this other stuff, getting it ready, and getting it onto tabletop and all that other stuff. So that's backseat. Anyway, if you're watching this series and watching me struggle through this, I appreciate you taking the time to join me for my work period blog, I guess. The development blog I'm doing for this game, and hopefully it ends up somewhere. It could end up in the trash bin for all I know, if I get to the point where I can't get anybody to test it, or it just doesn't seem to be working. Obviously it gets shelved at that point. Maybe come back to it. But that's the nature of the beast with these sort of creative projects. They're not all winners, and everybody wants to create one. I want to create one too, but I want to create. I'm not chasing money. I'm creating a creative process. I want to create, and I've always kind of wanted a place to put my monsters, a home for my monsters, and whether it's been video games that I've tried working on, or this is probably my 4th iteration of a card game
trying to make a card game that I've tried, or you know, wherever else, or just world building. I've tried multiple times to create a home for my little monster creations, and just to keep me creative. It's more a means to an end to draw more than anything. Once I get it balanced, but also kind of a fun way to use them. So anyway, thank you for joining me for today's work session, and I hope you enjoyed your time here. I hope you join me again.